To lead the SKOL chant and sound the Gjallarhorn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. SKOL, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's SKOL show and week 2 of our offseason. And for those of you in the know, happy anniversary. Today is the 3rd year anniversary of the launching of the Let's SKOL show. With me, as always, I've got Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. He who greets with smoke, Skolful Shack. Our captain, Keith, will be joining us in a moment. He's totally forgotten about our anniversary, folks. You know, typical. But tonight, we've got an all-pro. We got a hometown hero who's hanging them up. We got a players off-season who's starting off on par. Here's a question. Did the Vikings find the next Jalen Redmond? Paper or plastic? KOC and Kwesi spoke to the media, and we're going to talk about that. What's the latest on Brian Flores? We're going to go around the Gjallarhorn with our hot takes, make our purple prophecy predictions, and try to predict wild card weekend. Tonight, we're going to be joined by the newest member of the Let's SKOL Network, SKOL Cole. I hope he's got that $2 he owes me. But before we jump into all that, let's break this ice. Fellas, what were your takeaways from this wild card weekend?
My takeaways from this wild card weekend, I thought every single team that are in the playoffs right now deserved to be in the playoffs. There's one team I would say probably not. It was the Steelers. I think the Ravens probably would have given a better fight. But every team in the NFC definitely deserved to be in the playoffs. So you look at the Panthers, they were under 500. They took the Rams to the brink. They tried the best they could do against that team that is a Super Bowl favorite, a Super Bowl contender, and they did very well into it. Even looking at the Packers-Bears games, it was a rival game, divisional game. It was what you expected out of an NFC North game. I think if the Packers, they were favored, they could have won if they had Micah Parsons on there. I think that's the last person that they needed on that team for them to beat the Bears. Everyone deserved to be in the playoffs, what I saw, especially on the NFC side.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cody. I agree with you, Cody, that all the teams in the playoffs, it looked like they deserved to be there, except for the Steelers. But, you know, they did end up beating out the Ravens, and then, you know, they ended up getting smoked. But, man, I feel like this was probably one of the best wild card weekends I can remember because aside from, 2 of the games, they were all, down to the final drive and exciting and, you know, kept me engaged. And I don't know, man, there's really good games. And one thing I did notice, all the teams, they got good quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, out of all the teams that lost, I mean, probably 5 of the quarterbacks would be considered in most people's top 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Watching it, though, it was hard not being a part of it. The Vikings not being a part of those games. And I was just trying to think, man, are the Vikings as good as these teams? Could the Vikings hang with these teams? And it would depend who they played. Because I see Shaq shaking his head no, but you got the Panthers that almost took out the Rams. So, I mean, Shaq's got the Panthers ahead of the Vikings, apparently. Okay. Well, what were your takeaways then, Shaq?
So my takeaways was if the Vikings would have made the playoffs, we would have got a repeat of the Chargers game. As in, it would clearly show that we didn't belong in the playoffs this year. It probably would have been nice. We've been like, yeah, KOC, we probably made back-to-back playoffs, something we haven't done in a long time. But all that joy, all that hype would have instantly been dragged down by us probably getting blown out in the playoffs, unfortunately. Shout out, Vike.
It's funny you say that. Do you think like it actually would have been worse for KOC if we would have gone to the playoffs and lost in the first round than not making the playoffs at all?
I feel like it'd probably be about the same. Only because we still have the same issues, but at least we made the playoffs. Because, yeah, we had that little win streak going on, but we still had to factor in the injuries we dealt with, which they said they're not going to really, because it's the NFL, everybody has injuries. But we had to factor in the injuries, the offensive line continuity, mixed matching all year, and then trying to get J.J. McCarthy up to speed with a pass-heavy offense. So I don't think it would have bode well for us because if you notice, a lot of these teams in the playoffs, the ones that were successful ran the ball well and wild card.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think if we would have gone to the playoffs and lost in the first round, that would have been a lot worse for him than going out on a 5-game win streak and just barely missing the playoffs. Because I think you got now the fans thinking like, oh, man, we were just 1 game away. If we had just done this a little bit different, we had a chance to make the playoffs versus we go to the playoffs and like, he's 0-3 in the playoffs. He loses again. That's as far as he's going to take us. Like, I think it'd be a lot more heat on him if we actually had made the playoffs and lost in the first round. But you make a good point, too. Kind of maybe it would have been the same. I don't know.
I just don't think you can. If we did get in the playoffs and lost, you couldn't blame injuries. What the Niners did to the Eagles, the bowl champs, you cannot blame injuries. It's just a well-coached, well-put-together team with depth, something we do not have.
What about you, Fish? Did you get a chance to watch any of these games?
Nope, sure didn't because the Vikings weren't playing. Didn't give a shit. Happy anniversary, Keith. But I will.
Oh, that's today. Is that today?
I will have a takeaway from this weekend, though. Exactly 3 years ago today, after we lost that playoff game to the Giants on the infamous 4th and 8 play.
Happy 4th and 8.
You and I got on to our first show on our Facebook Live of Minnesota Viking Fans Uncensored. And one of the questions posed was, if Harbaugh was our coach, would we have gone out like that? And we pretty much said, nope, he wouldn't have let us go out like that. Well, after what just happened with the Chargers versus the Patriots, I'm here to say maybe he would have let us go out like that. 16-3 with Justin Herbert as your quarterback is inexcusable.
It's almost like you can't blame the quarterback anymore.
you came full circle with that one, Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So, Shaq, you think that if we were to make the playoffs, we wouldn't be standing a chance? Doesn't matter who we play, we would have, been eliminated in the first round. What is it that you think the Vikings are missing after watching these other teams that are in the playoffs?
A dependable run game and a quarterback that's not a rookie. Like, snaps wise, we know he's not a rookie quarterback, but experience wise, J.J. McCarthy had a lot to learn, not including coming off the injury last year. So it's kind of like if we would have had a run game that J.J. McCarthy could depend on, so he's not heavily relying on his arms to win us games, I feel like we could at least maybe got a playoff win. But we really forced J.J. McCarthy to win us games this year, and it backfired tremendously.
It did until the end. So, I mean, if we were going into the playoffs, we'd be going on a high. There is that. So let me ask you this, Cody. Let's say that final game for the Packers was for the 7th seed. And, of course, if that was the case, the Packers would be playing their starters. But we go and we beat the Packers and we secure that 7th seed. And now we got a date with the Chicago Bears. Do you think we could have pulled that game off at Soldier Field?
Yeah, I think we could have. I mean, we showed that we did beat them once with McCarthy. We showed them that we were a 54-yard kick return away from beating them from a J.J. McCarthy late fourth quarter touchdown. I think we could have beat the Bears. But the reason why we are also missing the playoffs is the quarterback position. This is the reason why. You can't go past it. We've had different starting quarterbacks out there. A kid that's out there in his first year playing that did not play good, right? He played good in spurts, but not good to be a legit contender in the playoffs. So it's one of those things that, I mean, we all want to love McCarthy. There's some out there that want to blame McCarthy. Blame them both, love them both. I mean, just got to wait on until the next year.
What about you, Fish? You think we could have hung in there with those Bears?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, like Cody said, we beat them once, and then we were bad special teams play away from sweeping them. And it seemed like our special teams play got cleaned up after that. After that happened, it's like, okay. Oh, don't worry, Zoe. I'm getting there. Don't worry. I'm getting there, buddy. But yeah,
where's Sarah? I need Sarah in here to handle Zoe in the comments.
So yeah, I mean, I think we could have hung with the Bears, maybe won the first round. I don't know about beyond that, but I think we could have hung with them. Yeah.
It does suck that we're not part of the playoffs this year, because I feel like this is a season where it's kind of really wide open. Like there isn't like a dominant team in there. I guess you could say, the Rams are as close as it gets. The Seahawks are going to be tough, but I think they're beatable. Mm-hmm. So it sucks not to be a part of it.
I don't know if they're beatable by us, but yeah, they're beatable.
Well, not Max Brosmer.
Yeah, no.
Much to Shaq's dismay.
Max Brosmer's a rookie. He didn't get a chance. He needs more reps. He needs more
among other things, he needs more reps.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Shaq, Nick Mullins would have lit them up. 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Tomlin Wood a year, the KOC axe. Everybody's got a wish list right now. There's some people that want a different coach, or some people that want a different quarterback, and everyone is dreaming big. You got people wanting Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrows. Like, these guys aren't even really going to be available, but for some reason, Viking fans think we're going to get them. Mike Tomlin after KOC gets axed. I'm telling you guys, he's not getting axed. I don't even think he would get axed if he doesn't make the playoffs this year. Yeah. I think it would come down to 2027 would be the hot seat. I don't think the seat gets hot this year.
I feel like everybody wanted that 11-win season after going 14 wins, but in the back of the mind somewhere, there was that feeling of, hey, we might not win more than 8 games this year. So I don't get why we're trying to axe KOC at this point. Like, if that feeling was in the back of your mind, all right, knowing that is a great possibility, we shouldn't be talking about firing any head coach or any coach on this team.
Jacob, the last games, I think KOC, McCarthy were good, and the defense was good. Like, I think we would have won a playoff game. I think we were riding high. The seat's already hot for a head coach with no playoff wins. I don't think so, Zoe. I really don't. I don't think his seat's hot.
After Kwesi's presser, I absolutely don't think that his seat's hot at all.
And we can't be saying that it's hot at all when you predicted 11 wins at the start of the season. Like,
so we will get into a little bit more playoff talk at the end of the show. We got to do our predictions, but I did want to see what your guys' takeaways were for those games and how you felt the Vikings would have competed. It seems like half of us think they would have. No, all of us think they would have competed except for Shaq. Shaq said we would have lost to the Panthers. But we did get some good news this week. We did get some good news this week, and that is we do have a first-team All-Pro, and it is our MVP, Will Reichard. Very deserving. He becomes the Vikings' 33rd first-team All-Pro in franchise history, and the third kicker. Gary Anderson got first-team All-Pro in 1998, and Blair Walsh in 2012. So, how does that make you guys feel? Like, okay, cool, yes, he got a first-team All-Pro. The Vikings have had 2 other first-team All-Pros, and it's Gary Anderson and Blair Walsh.
There you go. Wait, you forgot to mention Blair Walsh did it as a rookie.
He did do it as a rookie, but those two names, when you hear Blair Walsh and Gary Anderson, you don't think, oh, Gary Anderson, he went like a year and a half without missing a field goal. Blair Walsh, oh, he kicked the most 50-yard field goals as a rookie and was an all-pro. No, you think about what they did in the playoffs.
Yeah, well.
It makes me damn glad we didn't make the playoffs this year because that heartbreak I'm not ready for.
It could come later, as you saw with Blair Walsh. That's what I'm saying. Like, does that worry you at all? Like, those are the two, and how it ended up ending with them.
Don't
rely on Will Reichard's different.
Don't rely on Will Reichard to win us a playoff game or Super Bowl. That's what's going to boil down to.
Just need to get so far ahead that we don't have to count on him coming in at the last minute.
The only thing he should be kicking for us extra points. Extra points only.
And DePaul.
No, Shaq, we gotta go away from that and go for 2 every time. We just can't risk it. Because a missed extra point, and all of a sudden the game's up for grabs.
Whoa. Oh, boy. Charity for Reichard because they messed up with his cable missed debacle?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
No.
Aubrey first team? Why? Why Aubrey first team? I don't got his percentage up, but I know it wasn't better than Reichard.
94% was. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago that the second to last game, hey, Will Reichard is a really good shot at getting that first team All-Pro. He's number 1 in most categories for percentages with minimum of 30 kicks, right, at 94%. And people are like, well, Cam Little this. He kicked 2 big ones out there. Well, Reichard has the most, I think it's an NFL record of 59+ in the year. Cam Little has an 87% field goal percentage with 30 minimum kicks. Will Reichard wins that all day. Wins it completely over Aubrey. Aubrey's last game, he missed, 3 field goals?
Against us, yeah. Or
yeah.
2.
Yeah, 2 against us, and then 1 more against the team that they played the last
okay. The last 2 games, yeah.
Yeah.
So Viking Scholar wants you to raise your hand if you wanted Sam Darnold gone for over $33 million. I don't think Shaq wanted to pay $33 million, but I'll let him have it.
No.
My bad. My hand broke.
We pay $33 million to Sam. We don't have the same defense as we had this year.
I mean,
I don't even do that. You just don't do the hindsight at all. Like the Viking fans that are mad about what's going on with Sam Darnold, a majority of them that are mad didn't want to pay him $30+ million back in March or whatever it was, the free agency. Hindsight got people looking different.
Mm-hmm. I just don't see it. You don't pay Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers isn't on this team. Jonathan Allen and Hargrave probably ain't on this team. Eric Wilson might not even be on this team.
I'll have to see. And then we also had a player who's not doing all pro things, and that is Jordan Addison, arrested again. He was arrested Monday morning at 3:46 in the morning at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa. The staff at a restaurant noodle bar inside the casino had asked Addison to leave repeatedly, but he refused, and from some accounts became kind of belligerent and had to be taken away by the police officers and arrested. Was this his 3rd time since joining the Vikings?
3rd time with the law, yeah.
So where does this put you guys at with Jordan Addison right now? I mean, we don't know all the details about this, so we really can't get too much into the action itself. But the point is, he's in the news again in the offseason, in trouble, kind of putting a stain on the Minnesota Vikings. Where does that put you with Addison right now, Cody?
It puts me with Addison. I mean, I'm always complaining about, hey, you're a 1st-round wide receiver. I need you to hit 1,000 yards. You haven't done that yet. But first, before all of that, you are a professional first and foremost. I don't think he knows that quite yet. What I want to do with Addison is I need to see huge growth by the time the start of this next year. If it doesn't happen within this offseason where we're talking about growth from Jordan Addison, right, I want to get rid of him. That's just my boat. Right, you're a 1st-round wide receiver. I'm expecting you hit 1,000 yards at least once in your career so far. You haven't done that. This is the 3rd time with law enforcement that you've been in trouble with. Belligerent, not being kept on being escorted back and forth. That sounds kind of alcohol related. I don't know. All right. But you've already been busted, especially after the Kyrie Jackson incident, getting a DUI after that. He's not a professional to me, in my eyes, watching him in his offseason incidents.
Shaq?
Oh, I don't care
You don't care?
at all.
Why is that?
Nobody was hurt. Nobody was killed. Nobody was choked. What are we talking about? People go to jail all the time.
A pattern?
Dude, professionals go to jail all the time.
Yeah. Don't our president got a mugshot?
But
Every 8 months?
Goes to jail back-to-back years in the office. After a DUI, I usually learn, hey, I should probably not get myself into these situations. I should probably have a plan. Hey, what do I say every Thursday? Have a plan, right? Be good or be good at it. My guy, you ain't good at it. You ain't.
And you got the 3 incidents, with the law, and then you also have whatever happened in London where he got suspended for part of the game because acting up. Like there's a pattern here, Shaq. Like, yeah, he didn't kill anybody, but that doesn't mean like what he's doing is okay.
He was hung over for a practice.
If y'all seen my list from New Jersey, y'all would be ashamed of me. I have a long list of tickets.
I'd be proud of you, sir.
Yeah, but you're not a professional football player who makes millions. There's kids out there that are dreaming.
Yeah, I'm not paying you yet, so I don't care.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Who are dreaming for his job wouldn't even get picked. Are you kidding me? You make millions as a professional.
That's the problem, though. The people on TV should never be role models. The role models should be your parents. The role models should be the people you see every day.
It's not about being a role
Shaq,
model.
but that's not where we're at.
It's not about being a role model. It's about the other kids that are out there don't even get a sniff at the NFL. But he gets a sniff and gets caught up in the law 3 times every 3 off seasons.
Get good. Sometimes talent overweighs morality. That's the sad truth about reality.
And it's sad, just like you said.
Like, I think, who was it? Jalen Carter got into a car accident. Somebody died. But he's going to get multiple chances because that's how talented he is.
What has he done since then?
Spit on Dak on national TV.
After Dak spit on him. But yeah, okay.
Well, Dak spit towards him, not on him. So
what's your take on this, Fish?
First, before I say that, I've got to ask Unk specifically. Unk, can I have permission to start calling Jordan Addison a kid? Okay, this kid.
You call him kid.
Somebody's got to talk to him and explain to him about how to stay away from certain risk factors. I ain't saying the guy can't drink. I ain't saying the kid can't have a good time. But just some people, trouble finds a way to find them, especially after you develop a pattern. If you do stupid stuff when you're younger, the law always seems to find you. That camera always seems to find you. So you act a little stupid and all of a sudden you're in trouble again, and you gotta just totally get away from it. And the best advice that I could give him would be stay at home and drink just for a couple of years. Have nothing happen in the offseason. Get your career really rolling. Get over 1,000 yards so you can have some grace when you do stupid shit like this, kid. And, maybe, just maybe, you'll start to have, you don't know, maybe, just maybe you'll start to have, like, some good habits develop, and then the bad habits won't find you anymore. I'm just saying he needs somebody. Somebody's got to talk to him. It ain't, obviously it's not his parents, and got to sit him down and say, remove yourself from these potential situations. He's going to lose millions of dollars over this. Millions.
Yeah, I honestly probably do have to be his dad, though. his dad has to sit down and talk to him, like how he be on Twitter talking about Addison's always open. He do need to sit down and talk to his son about.
Well, you know what, Shaq? They've got
PR.
those commercials with the backup QBs. I'll play backup dad.
My thing, there's another thing with Jordan Addison. When does it become something to where someone does actually get hurt? How far do you string this out to where that happens?
Well, that's why I'm saying he's got to remove himself from these situations. He's got it's all involved alcohol, right? All three of them have involved alcohol. Am I missing that?
We don't know about the. He was at a bar in a casino, but we don't know if it involves alcohol for that third one.
What about the second one? What about last year?
The one that doesn't. The two involve alcohol, the DUI and the one in London, because he came hungover to a practice.
Yeah. It's all involved alcohol. He's got it. Like I said, drink at home, dude. Stay at home. Just do that for a couple off seasons. Make a clean slate kind of thing.
So let's kind of bring it back to football. What should the Vikings do with him? Like, do they stay patient with him, or do they get real hard and just release him, or do they look to trade him, even though this might have kind of tanked his trade value a little bit? Or do you his value might not be any lower, and do you try to extend him? What do you do with this right now?
I would say you give him a prove it. I mean, you still have faith in Jordan Addison. I mean, I still have faith in Jordan Addison. I've been saying every offseason he's going to get us 1,000 yards. I'd say, hey, we believe in you, but you're going to be on a leash. This is a short leash, right? You messed up during this season or during this offseason anymore, we're cutting bait, and it's just going to be a straight cut. You go handle free agency. We're not even going to trade you for picks, because at that moment you're not even worth the picks. No team, I don't think any team right now with this arrest is willing to give up a draft pick for Jordan Addison.
I'll tell you what I think we should do with him. I think we should extend him. I don't think we should bottom dollar him necessarily either. I think we should discount him a little bit. I think the important thing would be for us to be in very good control of what the guaranteed money is. Because no matter what you sign him to, however much is guaranteed is what's really going to hurt you if he does something stupid again and we got to cut him. So we don't have to go in there try to get him at like 10, 12 million. We can still get fairly close to his market value. Just don't give him 3 years guaranteed, 3 years of it guaranteed, you know? And hey, that's a good point by George. If the Cardinals could put you got to study clause in his contract, how about for Addy? You can't never get above the legal limit in public.
I mean, it's in public. Like, you are supposed to be, hey, that's that Vikings wide receiver. Look at him. You know, like, everybody's seeing it. It's not professional at all.
For a franchise that is really overtly concerned about their image, they got to rein him in somehow.
Why can't he just go hang out with Justin Jefferson and play video games and talk about JJ McCarthy?
Or hang out with me.
All right, I got a question for Viking Scholar. I got a question for Viking Scholar. What the hell difference does it make if we're non-players? I mean, how high in professional football did you get? Shut up.
Yeah, I was ignoring him. I just ignored him.
So that's what I was doing.
But yeah,
George is yelling at you, Shaq.
Yeah, nah, it's probably because I said I'll go hang out with Jordan Addison, but we'll probably get in trouble. At least it'll be worth it.
So
I ain't never heard of weeds showing up on the breathalyzer, Shaq.
At least I'll make the news.
Do you guys think that he could be suspended for this, even if like there ends up being no charge out of this? Just, you know, the act of it, and I think the NFL likes to try to protect their name and branding. Do you think that he could face something?
I think he could get suspended if they find out that alcohol is related in this incident, because that is an alcohol-related incident. That's it. And this is your second one. So yeah, I think he can suspend it if it comes out to where alcohol is related, 100%.
See, I think it has to be DUI related. I could be wrong.
But I mean, his DUI was dropped to a wet reckless, and they still suspended him. The NFL, it's like the Army, right? The Army, you get a DUI in the Army, right? Off of installation. The Army don't care. The Army sees you got a DUI. That's for your arrest. We don't care if you beat the charges over here in the civilian world. You're getting suspended or something like that to the Army. That's the charge.
Well, we'll see. It's not quite the Army, but
no due process.
Yeah,
not in the NFL.
Yeah, there's no NFL. It's just, you suspended. I mean, the due process. They waited for the due process to happen. It came in wet reckless, and they're like, "Oh, 3-game suspension."
Do you guys think this puts pressure on the Vikings to go ahead and try to sign Jalen Naylor?
What compensation do we get for him?
For who?
Jalen Naylor.
He's a free agent, Shaq.
Yeah,
he's a free agent.
Isn't that how it usually goes, though? If another team signs a free agent, you get the compensation.
Oh, you're talking about a comp pick? I don't know if Jalen Naylor would be worth a comp pick.
What?
He's not even a starter.
Yeah.
Not for us, but he could be a starter for somebody else.
Yeah, but we gotta lose something to gain something. I don't know that to answer your question, I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? To be fair, it could be like a 6th or 7th rounder because I do believe they were saying that we would get that for Trent Sherfield.
Oh, for real? Okay.
So okay, it could be like a 6th rounder, Shaq. Let's say that.
Trent Sherfield. He didn't have as many yards as Jalen Naylor did for us.
Yeah, but he played like every special teams down, so he probably actually played more downs.
Everybody
back to the question: do you think this puts more pressure on the Vikings to sign Jalen Naylor with the pattern of Jordan Addison?
Yes. I think unless they're wanting to give up some capital to try to, I mean, we know what Naylor is capable of. We know what he's done where he's had to take over a more dominant role in the game when Addy or even Jets have been out for whatever reason. I mean, yeah, or else it's going to be Jets and nobody.
I think it kind of puts more on them to have someone that they could depend on because we saw with Addison that it's not just an off-season thing where he can go find trouble. He can find trouble actually during the season. So, I mean, if it's not Jalen Naylor, then they got to go on free agency and get somebody. And not having a lot of cap space, I don't know that you're actually going to go out there and get somebody better than Jalen Naylor who's already familiar with your team and your quarterback. So I think it does put more pressure on the Vikings to actually go ahead and get a deal done. And Cody, what did you say that his estimated contract might be?
Jalen Naylor is like 4.7 mil.
Oh shit!
So it ain't that bad for a wide receiver 3.
If he's $5 million a year, yeah, I gotta take that. But I feel like he's gonna get the KJ Osborne deal where he gets like 10.
Yeah, I mean that's like in with Christian Kirk going off somewhere. Never had 1,000 yards. Gets buku dollars. I just don't want that to happen with us and Addison when we extend him. If we extend him, he gets a Christian Kirk contract.
How much you got to pay our third round receiver?
Not a lot, but is he? I don't even know if he's a receiver at this point.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure by next year, Felton would be better than Naylor was his whole career with us.
Yeah, I can see that too.
That would be great. That would be great. But I saw him drop a pass, and I'm mad at him.
How many passes did you see Naylor drop? You seen Naylor drop a pass in person?
I did. That was 2 years ago. I let that go. Bad things happen when I'm at games in person. I really can't hold it against Jalen Naylor that he dropped that pass. I was there.
Amen, brother. Amen.
We honestly might have seen Jordan Addison drop more passes this year than Jalen Naylor has dropped his whole career.
I mean, he at least dropped more than Jalen Naylor did this year. I mean, The
It's
only
close.
drops I really remember from Jalen Naylor was in the Giants game, and there was 2 of them, and one of them there was a penalty. So we do have some other wide receiver news, sort of, and that is Adam Thielen officially announced his retirement. And Adam Thielen ends his career with 704 catches, 8,497 yards, and 64 touchdowns. So I thought it would be a good idea to ask, what is your guys' favorite Adam Thielen moment? And this was actually Shaq's idea. So Shaq, why don't you start it off?
So for me, it'd be the one-handed touchdown Adam Thielen had in the back of the end zone. I can't remember who we was playing, but I remember we had the Color Rush jerseys on, and Harrison Smith actually posted on his IG, and I was like, man, what a catch! Because all he did was he basically grabbed the ball with one hand and brought it into his chest, and that goes to show you his body.
I'm thinking of 2. One was against the Cowboys.
It might have been. I think it might have been the Cowboys or Packers.
And one was against the Bears.
Bears.
The teardrop from heaven. No, that was.
Let's say yours is the Cowboys.
I'll get the answer right for you. I just remember he did it in the back of the end zone, like the back pylon of the end zone. He came down with it.
What about you, Cody?
Mine would be that impossible a reception that happened. I think Kirk Cousins versus the Packers threw Adam Thielen the ball. Adam Thielen's diving. And you see this cornerback right over the top of him, and it somehow squeezes in there, and he catches in the end zone for that touchdown. I think it's the greatest moment I've ever seen Adam Thielen. It was just amazing. Besides the special team play he made where he smoked the ever-living daylights out of the kick returner from, was it the Colts or Jags? And I think that's what got him on notice. Hey, this guy wants to play football. But yeah, that catch is just amazing. That it is the perfect dime. It is a miracle catch.
So Shaq, yours is the one against the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I remember. Oh no!
I think Keith died.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
All right, comment section. This is your chance to throw your jabs at Keith right now. Look at him.
Famous last words. Oh no!
Oh no! Clip that.
So go off.
Oh yeah.
Damn, you darker than me, Keith.
So, all right. So Cody kind of took my favorite positive moment with Thielen. That catch against the Packers where just fit right in there and he just fell back onto his butt into the end zone for that touchdown was great. But you know what? This year, after we wasted a 4th-round pick on him coming in and doing jack shit and then him requesting a release so that way he could go play with a contender, I'm going to say that my favorite Adam Thielen moment was the time where he was mouthing off to Bill Belichick in the middle of the game and Belichick told him to shut the F up.
That was gold.
That's my favorite Adam Thielen moment.
It was funny too because you wouldn't see that, you wouldn't get that vibe from Adam Thielen. Like if you watch his interviews and how he be talking, and then to see that clip of him going mouthing off to Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, it was definitely great.
Now, with all those moments we're talking about here, does he deserve to be in the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think so too. I honestly, from what he started from to what he became with the Minnesota Vikings, he lives in Minnesota Vikings lore for the all-out franchise history. He just lives in there. I think just because of that factor, he just definitely deserves to be in that ring honor.
And then he should have Kirk Cousins give a whole speech about how he made his career better. Like, Adam Thielen, you single-handedly got me paid in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Is he really Ring of Honor worthy though?
I just think he is, because he's always going to be notable through the Vikings history. I mean, he might not make it because is AC Carter in the Ring of Honor? I don't think so. So it's like he has memorable moments through his career, right? He Viking coming in, did what he did out there, especially in the 87 playoffs to what he did. It just there's a story with Adam Thielen, and it's a great story. It's telling, hey, all these kids out there, you don't have to be drafted to get in this league, to be good for this league. You're a two-time All-Pro or two-time Pro Bowler. You're fourth in receptions, you're fifth in receiving yards, you're third in receiving touchdowns. Like you're above some guys out there. Like you're behind what Chris Carter and Randy Moss, right? And then that's all it falls.
Yeah, he belongs.
Yeah, he's in the top.
And he probably was a big part of the reason why Diggs got shuttled out of town, and we got to miss out on a lot of the Diggs drama because he left and went elsewhere and started doing that. Yeah, just for that, I think he belongs in the Ring of Honor. Hell yeah, retire his number.
We could find a quarterback that wears 19, so don't retire that number just yet.
Let's see here. Sorry, y'all. We're a professional. We're a professional show here. We're letting Keith get his thing going back on because there's some important stuff we need him here for. But let's talk about some future contracts, fellas. The Vikings signed some players to futures contract, and that's basically an agreement between the team and some fringe roster players, and in most cases it's practice squads. We offer these contracts after the regular season ends, but before the new year league begins, which kind of locks them in place for the next season to compete for a roster spot in training camp without impact the current year's salary cap or roster. So once a player agrees to the futures contract, they cannot sign with another team until they're released or when they don't make the 53-man. So here's the list of the players that received and accepted that invite to camp next season. We got Dante Fleming, who's a wide receiver. We got Khalif Hayalasi, who's a safety. He kind of flashed in the preseason, didn't he, boys?
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
A linebacker named Josh Ross, a guard named Vershawn Lee, a tackle named Caleb Etienne, a wide receiver named Joaquin Davis, another wide receiver, Deshaun Jones. He got some play time in the last couple of games of the season. Mm-hmm. Tight end Bryson Nesbitt, defensive tackle Jalen Hutchings, linebacker Jacob Roberts. So a couple of interesting names like Fleming, Jones, Nesbitt, Hayalasi. But there's one player that we really want to shine the light on, and that's Jalen Hutchings, or as Keith likes to call him, the next coming of Jalen Redmond. He's 26 years old. He's 6 foot tall. He's 304 pounds, and he has a very similar trajectory to Jalen Redmond. He spent 6 seasons at Texas Tech. He signed with the Bears as a UDFA in 2024. Then he was waived 2 weeks later. Then he signed to the Calgary Stampeders practice roster, and he was called up for their final 2 games. Then he had a breakout season for them where he led all defensive tackles and sacks with 8, pressures in 56, pressure rate 11.6, and 39 tackles, earning him all defense honor. He had the highest PFF grade of all defensive linemen at a 90.7, with his run defense at an 86.7, which was 3rd, and a pass defense at 86.1, which was 3rd. So it's real hard to not compare him to Jalen Redmond, which isn't a bad thing. But do you think he'll be asking me if I want to supersize my fries with that? Or do you think that he'll be asking me if I need ketchup with my order? I mean, is he a camp body or a legitimate roster contender? Call it right now.
looking at the Vikings' depth right now at the position, especially losing some players during the offseason this year and the cap how it is, I think he is a legit roster contender. And I don't like saying that because he is an undrafted free agent. He is 6 foot tall. I think Redmond's 6'2", 6'3". I don't even know if this guy's even 6 foot. He might be 5'10" to 6 foot, right? So you're looking at those categories right there. He does have a legit contender spot to get on the roster, and it's only because we don't know how to draft. We don't know how to draft depth, and it's showing right now because we got these undrafted free agents stepping in these roles, and it's kind of ridiculous moving forward, especially on the Kwesi end. But yeah, I think he does have a legit roster spot on this team.
Welcome back, Captain.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
So looking at his picture, I'm going to say this for starters. He's 6 feet tall, and he's a very trim 300 pounds. So I'm wondering what his power looks like. How strong is he? Because he's not a fat 300 pounds. So I'm wondering if there's some real strength underlying there, like in his core, maybe when he drives with his legs. And then I'm also wondering, does he have his license to sell like homeowners insurance? Or is he a real estate agent?
Doing your fish thing.
So he ran a 4.75.
That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast for a defensive tackle in the high 200s, low 300s. I can't find his bench press or his strengths.
I still say these offensive and defensive linemen should not be doing bench presses. They should be doing squats and deadlifts because upper body power is really not where it's at with what they got to do. I mean, it's important, but more importantly, it's the drive and stability they have off their legs and their base. So I wish they'd get off the bench press for these big guys.
It's all about that motion, right? That motion, that lower motion, right, Fish?
All they talk about with an offensive lineman is what's their anchor like. Ain't their bench press.
So do you guys like it that the Vikings do go out there and try to find these guys, some of these uncut gems, or like Cody said, is it kind of like a bad thing that we have to go out there and try to find these guys because we don't have any real depth of young guys?
Absolutely horrible thing that we're constantly going out after undrafted free agents for starting positions.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? I mean, I would be okay with it if we had the depth. Oh yeah, you're going to add some pieces to battle and maybe camp, and maybe they make the roster. And like hell yeah, if they make the roster, I'm happy for like the Adam Thielen situation. Like we had these wide receivers, like yeah, Adam Thielen, bring him in and see what he does out there, and he goes off and shows out. But I'm at the point to where why do I want this undrafted free agent on my team? Like, why do we have to have this? And we already think, oh yeah, he's going to be battling for a spot instantly, a starting spot probably.
Yeah, why are we counting on this?
Yeah, why are we counting on it? Yeah,
I'm counting on this. I'm counting on this to work, and I believe it is going to work. Much like Jalen Redmond, I think this one is going to work out.
Maybe this is Kwesi's stick. Like, Rick Spielman liked to have a lot of 7th rounders. Kwesi just likes UDFAs.
I mean, just at a glimpse, he reminds me of Aaron Darnold. So we've got us a gold jacket winner right there, baby.
Hey, maybe, but maybe we need 2 GMs, like one that could draft and one that could do whatever it is that Kwesi does.
I'm working on it.
Assistant general manager. There we go.
Which we kind of already have.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Someone's got to get fired. No one's been fired yet. It's bugging me. No one's been fired.
I know, that's a problem.
That is crazy. Like, all these coaches are getting fired.
Before we start talking about coaches that need to be fired, let's go ahead and talk about an uncut gem that we have added to the SKOL Network, and that is SKOL Cole.
What up, buddy?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining us, Cole. I found Cole on TikTok. He makes great TikTok videos, great shorts, like kind of just recapping stuff that happens every day with the Vikings. And if nothing happened, then he'll give you a depressing fact about them in the playoffs, and he'll just make you all warm and fuzzy about it. But Cole has some very interesting takes on the Minnesota Vikings, and I really wanted him to be a part of, what we're doing here at Let's SKOL. He's doing his own thing, but he's joining the Let's SKOL Network, and we wanted to introduce him to you guys tonight. If you're not already following him, follow SKOL Cole on TikTok, and you can follow him on YouTube. He's just starting out his YouTube, so he could really use the support, and you guys can give it to him. But Cole, why don't you give us your background as a Vikings fan?
Yeah, I've been a fan since 1998. We moved up to Minnesota, Rochester in 98. Perfect time for it. My dad was already a fan, but you kind of get used to it being up there, and it was a fun time. Then moved to Des Moines in 2000. I mean, the fandom never left, and I was just kind of a psycho kid compared to everybody else when it came to fandom. So, just started becoming obsessed with the team and rattling off stats and facts that nobody cared about. Yeah. Everyone's like, all right, well, this guy's kind of weird, but could have been a Patriots fan, could have been lifelong at this point, but stuck with the Vikings, unfortunately, and landed me here tonight. So I guess it all worked out.
Yeah. And you got that in common with Fish. He could have been a Patriots fan himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Massachusetts.
You sound like me, rattling off stats and then speaking depressingly about the Vikings in your TikTok. So
yeah. I wish I could talk about positive playoff moments, but there's not a whole hell of a lot of them. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
And even when there is a positive one, it's followed up by a depressing one the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like talk about the Minneapolis Miracle. It's like, yeah, but that next week really sucked. So,
yeah.
So speaking of the Miracle and depressing moments or not depressing moments, I did want to ask you, what is your favorite Minnesota Vikings moment outside of the Miracle?
So this is going to be a little different, probably from what you guys were expecting, but I actually went to a game with Tommy Kramer after my dad died in 2021. I posted about him dying, and Tommy's like, hey, come up to a Vikings game, hang out and stuff. So I hung out with him and Ed McDaniel before, during, and after the game. We were up till 6:30 in the morning the next day, drinking and shooting dice. So that was probably my favorite moment. It was very sweet because it took my dad dying for it, but it kind of made everything kind of feel a little bit better after that whole entire month. So probably that. If we're talking stuff like that, I'd say probably the Jared Allen sack after the fight with Donald Penn against the Bucks. So another but moment where the Vikings went 3-and-out right after that. But for that moment, it was freaking awesome. So.
Oh, those are both very cool ones, and I'm glad you shared that first one with us. I'm sorry for the way that it happened, but that's an awesome story.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of takes the thunder away from what I was going to ask you, which was, what's the favorite game you've ever gone to? But that does really take the edge off of such a sad circumstance, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and for all of that game, I remember it because I remember every game. But
which game was it?
It was actually against the Rams in 2021. Brandon Powell had a punt return touchdown against us. He actually did something on punt return.
Oh, we lost that game.
Anthony Barr had 2 interceptions that game. We did nothing with it. So it was fun. I remember that game more for just everything outside the game, for obvious reasons. Favorite game I've ever been to, I was at the Miracle. And I was tears in my eyes looking up at the Jumbotron. After that, thought we were going to the Super Bowl. So that one's obvious for anybody that's been to a Vikings game. Honorable mention was 2008 Sunday Night Football against the Bears. Had a goal line stand and 99-yard touchdown the play after. So
Oh, you were at the Berrien game.
That was insanity. Yeah, I didn't think it could get much better than that, but the Miracle topped it. But that was a fun ass game. So
Man,
He
you've
was at
been
all the
some
good
pretty
games.
good moments.
yeah, I usually get to at least one per year. So I went to the Christmas Day game this year, and
All right, so
Those
Cole, here's
were
what I
fun
need to do, right?
Another great
You could've
one.
seen Cody.
yeah.
Cole, here's what we need to do. If the four of us decide we're going to go to a home game again, we need to get with you so maybe you can offset some of this Keithism.
Right.
Okay,
I've seen wins before, Fish.
not in my lifetime.
In your lifetime. Just I'm like 5-13 when I go to games.
It's-
Cool.
yeah, it's
Really.
Yeah, we need you, buddy. We're going to call on you. You're coming off the bench.
It's nuts. I started going in 2004 and went through 2011 before I finally saw a loss. And those were not half those years really sucked. And it was usually like best game of the year that we'd attend. So
Yep, got to call him.
Yeah,
You
it
know
took-
what? You guys just take Cole. I'll stay at home. I want you guys to enjoy this.
Really? You mean it?
I was at 8 wins straight until we went with Keith, and then we lost. And these guys right here, Shaq and Fish, it was their very first game. Dude,
really?
First home game.
Which one was that?
the Falcons won.
Oh my god.
Our home opener.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
going to
but the
ask,
big-
were you at that game?
But then I tried to make up for it, and I went to the Charger game too.
Man. Dang, man. Yeah, if we ever host an NFC championship, you just chill at the bar across the street or something. We'll meet after.
Yeah, no, I won't go. I mean, I've even said if the Vikings went to the Super Bowl, I think I'd rather watch it at home than actually go to it. So yeah, you don't got to worry about me there.
Yeah.
Probably don't even watch it. Just hear about us winning the Super Bowl.
Damn.
I just thought it was absolutely amazing to see Keith's superpower in play, really in live, in living color. It's one thing to be in a group chat, and Keith's at the game and we got to watch the game happen while Keith's at the game, but to be sitting there and to feel him aura farming like that, it's just amazing.
You guys give me too much credit. Too much credit.
I will say he was not as antsy in person watching the game as he'd be in the chat. He's more calm with us not doing nothing.
I know. Me and Keith just looked at each other in disappointment the whole time. I'm pretty sure. Like that 3rd and 1 play. They were going to go for it regardless, and they punt it right after. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
what?
the 3rd and 1 where they threw it to Naylor, the bomb to Naylor. I was like, all right, I like what they did there. Okay, go ahead and punch it in for the first down on 4. What do you mean you're punting it?
Let me tell you something, Cole. Cody pulled up the stadium picture of us that they all flashed in the section.
Yeah.
And it was a picture taken during the moment of silence. But we all looked so somber that the question was, did they take this picture when the game ended? I mean,
It makes sense. Man, that'd be a rough one to be at.
tell me about it, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I have actually been to games like that, but man, that one, especially after week 1, I was so stoked for that game, and that was just fall flat on our
Well, yeah, it's the home opener, and our young quarterback just had a great 4th quarter to come back and beat the Bears, and everything's riding high. And none of us actually live in Minnesota, so we actually all met up there and met each other for the first time in person. Like everything was great. Oh, we're going to this game, the home opener. Not so much, man. Not so much. It was still a great time though.
Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it still.
But talking about your Bernard Berrien and Gus Frerotte moment, that 99-yarder. I mean, those guys aren't superstars, will never be superstars, right? I want to ask you the question, who is your favorite non-superstar, non-star Minnesota Viking? Like an unsung Minnesota Viking. Who is your favorite?
Yeah, it was actually funny how long this one, I racked my brain for this one. I'd probably have to go with like Brian Robinson. I loved him for like 96 questions, obviously, but even before that, just liked how he could come off the bench. He was a full-time starter in 2011, but before that, he could come off the bench, and it wasn't really much of a drop-off. Always brought the energy. I'd probably say Robinson's up there. There's several other guys. I almost said like Antoine Winfield. think he's too good for it, but I don't.
Yeah.
He just seems so underrated.
Mhm.
Even Kevin Williams, I thought was massively underrated. But
Can you give us the Brian Robeson celebration? Yeah.
So I've got a story. I've got a Brian Robinson related story for you, Cole. I live in Western Kentucky, and when I jumped on board with Coca-Cola 6 years ago, I had to move a little closer to work. And the place I moved into, while I was moving my stuff in, my new neighbors saw my Viking stuff, and they said, "Oh, you're a Vikings fan? We know a Viking." They were basically like his travel agents. They were like, "Well, he goes on the pro fishing tour, and what we do is we book all his accommodations." I was like, "Really? Who?" And they said Brian Robinson. I was like, I did the celebration, all that. I was like, you got to let him know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's a good guy off the field.
I think one of my favorites is David Palmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's definitely like an unsung one. And I don't know what it was that I liked about him. I mean, I was a little younger, but something about him, I think because he was a little guy and I was a little guy and he was out there doing it, made me feel like, us little guys, we can go out there and do it too. But he was a fun player. Like he's like one of those guys that he actually played wide receiver and running back and was a kick returner.
Kind of ahead of his time in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Robinson, he had the ability to sit behind Jared Allen and learn from Jared Allen, and you can see the comparison between them. And it was like, oh man, we got the next Jared Allen already on this team. Yeah, it's exciting times for Minnesota.
Absolutely.
I think mine would probably be Weldy Moore.
I like Weldy.
I mean, he could put together the Love Boat, and yeah.
People probably remember him more as a Steeler, unless you're actually a Viking fan.
Yeah. What about Dalvin Cook before he was Dalvin Cook and Michael Bennett?
Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett was he was the Dalvin Cook before we got Dalvin Cook, in my opinion.
I almost went Michael Bennett for a second. I had a Michael Bennett jersey back in elementary school.
He had a couple nice seasons for sure.
Yeah, before he blew his knee out and stuff. But yeah, that dude could fly.
So my question to you, Cole, is we talked about Adam Thielen earlier. Can you give us your favorite Adam Thielen memory?
So I'm gonna, like usual, I can't just say one. I gotta go two. So I'm gonna do first off the Saints playoff catch that basically set up the game winner. Yeah, to Rudolph. That's gotta be number one because that game was just amazing. So it's close second though is the 65-yard touchdown he had against the Rams in 2017. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but it was a home game and it kind of put the Vikings like on the map as a true contender. And it was just kind of the walk-off touchdown to a really competitive game. And yeah, I think that's a really close second for me. And then obviously his 2014 preseason was just highlight after highlight. But yeah.
It's funny. Like, I don't think any of you said mine, and I was worried that one of you were going to take it, except I didn't hear yours, Fish.
Okay, well, Cody stole my positive one with that touchdown against the Packers. But in lieu of that, my favorite Adam Thielen moment was when he was John at Bill Belichick, and Belichick told him to shut the F up in the game.
Oh, okay. That's a Fish answer. Mine was before he was Adam Thielen, and when he had that pump block for a touchdown against the Panthers, and that's like what really put him on the map. And I thought for sure one of you guys were going to snake that one. I was trying to think of what my backup was going to be in case you did, and it was actually going to be the Bears catch, the one-handed Bears catch in 2020 during the COVID year when there was no fans in the stand. Made the one-handed catch, and the ball kind of even like flipped in his arm and everything. So that's what I kind of thought Shaq might have been talking about that on his. But, yeah, no, mine's definitely the pump block, scoop, score, and that's kind of like he became Adam Thielen after that.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be his career highlight. I was like, hell yeah.
Right?
This guy's made it.
Thought that'd be his career highlight, and no one on the damn panel even picked that as one of the top moments. So that just goes to speak to the kind of career that he had after that. But Do you think he ends up getting to the Ring of Honor?
1,000%. I don't even think it's because he's a local guy. I mean, he's still top 5 in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. So it is right there. So yeah, I think he's got the stats to back it up, but the story for sure gets him in. Obviously, this year didn't end super great, but people will get over that. So I'm not too worried about this season tainting his legacy at all.
It's funny, not funny, but that's a good point you bring up about the story and everything, which is why he probably gets in, because I kind of had some doubts about it because you got, Anthony Carter that's not even in the Ring of Honor, and he's also, top 5 in all these stats. Some he's better than Thielen, some Thielen's better than him, but you're right, he does have that kind of story to go with it.
Right, kind of the golden boy of the Vikings for the past decade, so I think Anthony Carter should absolutely be in though for 87 almost exclusively.
And Vikings fans need to cut him some slack just because he wanted to go play for a contender. We knew we wasn't making the playoffs, so he deserved to at least try to go win a Super Bowl before his career was over.
I don't think Viking fans are that mad about it this time around. I think they have more of a problem with the way he ended up leaving the first time, even though we basically let him go, but just kind of the way it kind of was toxic. I think Viking fans had a bigger problem with that. This time, I don't think we care because you're not doing nothing anyway.
Check, I ain't even mad at him for that.
I think that was
us for giving up a 4th-round pick, all that bullshit he did, and then he's like, "Let me go."
I think that was a failure on our part when we got rid of him the first time, because didn't he have another 1,000-yard year with the Panthers after that with a rookie?
He did, but we owed him $20 million to keep him.
Yeah. We didn't want to pay, so he's like, "Well, shit, they want to go pay me."
Yeah, but that's the thing I hate about this stuff is we're not gonna pay that $20 million, so they cut him, and he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go sign with this team for $6 million." It's like, why couldn't you just come back to us for $6 million? We would have done that. But it's like, no, you hurt my feelings. I'm going somewhere else.
You take a man's money away. That's going to happen.
So right now, the biggest hot topic that divides Viking fans is probably our quarterback, JJ McCarthy. What side of this argument or debate are you on when it comes to JJ McCarthy?
So my biggest hang up on McCarthy is more than anything that he actually did on the field was just really his availability to stay healthy, his ability to stay healthy. He did improve near the end of the year. Obviously, it was against, not as good competition. But if he had stayed healthy, those games would have come middle of the season. Maybe he keeps improving, as the season progresses with the defense coming along. With all that said, they need to do something to bring in more competition. If they take a big swing at somebody like Justin Herbert or somebody, I would not be against it at all. Because you can't, if he stayed on the field, I'd still probably say you have to do something based off this past season, but I think you got to be aggressive. You can't just put your future into his hands because he just hasn't proven he can stay on the field. And until he can do that, it's hard for me to feel too bad about it. So.
All right. So it sounds like you're more, if you had to be on one side, you're on the anti-JJ side.
Like barely.
If you had to lean on the one.
I'm not those weird fans who actively root for him to be the worst quarterback ever.
Okay. That's fair. That's actually fair because there's some of them in here.
Yeah.
Not on this panel, but in the chat, there are some of them in here. Every time his name gets brought up, they just, oh my God.
Yeah. No, I'll post stuff on Twitter and people just start going after. It's just it's like the same people with the same stuff. It's just like, okay, man. I was like, if football pisses you off that much, just go do something else.
How do you feel about McCarthy heading in this offseason without any rehab restrictions going into it? This is probably his first full legit offseason. How do you feel about that? Is that going to help him out for the future run in 2026?
I think so. He finally has something to concrete to work on. If his exit interview with Kevin O'Connell went anything like I'd expect, be like, hey, you got to work on this, this, and this. And I don't know if McCarthy will ever be great, but I know that he works really freaking hard. If anything, he'll at least hear the coaching points. I don't know if he'll be able to actually translate it, but yeah, I mean, I assume that would help because we saw him week 18 last year where he was really skinny. They had to like work to put weight back on.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously his hand's a little messed up right now, but he should be fine for everything. So I will have as good a chance to see what's going to happen. I think as we're going to get. So
I'm going to play Robbie's advocate right now, just real quick, and say, you assume much to say that he's not going to have to rehab something this offseason.
That's true.
Things could happen.
Yeah.
Knock on some wood, Fish. Damn.
What I like what everybody's saying is this year will make or break KOC. That's what normally happens when you're a head coach. You draft a rookie quarterback. It's ride or die with that quarterback. If he doesn't pan out, you're gone. That's the NFL. It's a business. You pull out all these first round picks, and if your quarterback's a first round pick, you ain't going anywhere if he's good. But if he's not good at all, you're gone. That's just how it is in the NFL.
Not if they replace him with somebody who is good before he's gone.
You can't do that with being $65 million over the cap this year.
Yeah,
I like how
they're gonna bring people in.
I like how Cole framed that though. He said JJ McCarthy is a hard worker. So even if he don't have the outwardly talent, I believe JJ will incrementally get better. And like as long as he's getting better, we don't need a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. We just need him to be a good enough quarterback to run this KOC offense, and then maybe luck on our side, we can finally get over that hump.
Yeah.
So as we continue to try and shape your identity here as a Vikings fan, that's going to be held with you forever. What are your thoughts on our current administration of Kwesi and KOC?
So I still have a lot of faith in Kevin O'Connell. I think this year you can't completely absolve him because he is a head coach. I think just everything that possibly could have gone wrong went wrong, and the team still went 9-8. Now, 5 of the wins came after the season was essentially over, but I think that says a lot to him as we keep hearing culture builder and stuff, but the offense passing game was still top 6 in the league previous 3 seasons. Christian Darrisaw wasn't healthy. Projected starting offensive line played 83 snaps all season together. Like I'm still in on Kevin O'Connell, like a lot. Kwesi, I'm not as in on to say it super nicely. I don't know if maybe I'm just too positive. I'm not going to be at his doorstep with pitchforks and everything. But if there were to be a move, I'd be way more in on moving on from Kwesi before KOC. So that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably about as nice as I can get it. So
yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna say it, but you're gonna understand it.
I don't know if you guys listened to his press conference, but he was definitely flustered. There were a couple times where he just didn't.
He brought me to a whole new level of pissed off at him, brother.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually where I wanted to go next with this, was to actually talk about that press conference, because that's the most current news that we have. And KOC and Kwesi, they held the end of the year press conference on Tuesday where quarterback was the dominant topic. I felt like, they talked about like 15 minutes, a lot of word salad in there, but there's definitely some key statements that we could definitely pick apart. And, the first thing was KOC opened it up stating, no changes with the coaching staff as of right now, aside from Mike Pettin retiring, which Mike Pettin was our assistant head coach, which I don't even know if everybody in this chat knows that we had an assistant head coach this whole time. So not really big news, except that does open up an assistant head coaching role. So stay tuned for what that may mean. But for me, overall from this presser, what I came away with was two main thoughts. And one, the team is far from committed to J.J. McCarthy in 2026. And I think they feel like they have a win-now roster that's maybe just a quarterback away. And they're pretty much going to run this thing back as much as they can as the salary cap will allow them. What'd you take from this, Fish?
All right, so let me jump over to Kwesi because, KOC is a great politician. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to diminish how poorly J.J. McCarthy played for the better part of the season. However, when asked about it, Kwesi 100% absolved our coaching staff from the failures of this season because he went on to explain how we have had success through a certain level of quarterback play, and we didn't get that this year. And he put it all on McCarthy. Meanwhile, during the season, our too proud head coach finally decided to start running the ball more than 15 times, and all of a sudden our not the greatest quarterback looked like a decent quarterback, and we won some games through complementary football play. But not once did he ever say anything about coaching. And then you tie it in with KOC, and KOC 100% gave up on developing McCarthy during the middle of the season. He as much as said that during his press conference. He basically said, yeah, whatever. It was sometime right after he said that cement not drying. He just basically said, yeah, we're pretty much done with it. So
and then JJ got better.
KOC very astutely said, young QBs don't fail their franchises. Franchise fail the young QBs. And right now we're watching it happen. We're watching KOC gave up on developing J.J. McCarthy midseason, and we're watching our damn GM who can't draft worth a shit not holding the coaching staff accountable for it.
Wow. Some fire there. Mm-hmm. Did you come away with that, Cole, that, they weren't really holding the coaching staff accountable, and it's kind of seemed like they're putting more on the execution and more so the quarterback?
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. Obviously, I think the coaching could have done a lot better this year to help put them in different spots. I don't know if this is like the best way to absolve Kevin O'Connell's stuff. I think the Christian Darrisaw stuff just really messed everything up because every time that he would talk about, every time O'Connell would talk, he's talking about how hard it is to game plan when you don't know if your top lineman's going to be playing, and then he's out after 9 plays against Chargers or something, and he's in and out, and so I don't know. It did sound like they're absolving him quite a bit, though. Yeah, I think they just want somebody else. That way, if it goes poorly, they can just pull the plug really quickly on McCarthy. Because even in that, I wrote about this earlier. Even in the organization's fail young quarterbacks thing, O'Connell did specify he's like that applies if you have the right guy. And then he said that sometimes you just have to, reset, move on, start with a blank slate. So I don't know. I almost think that young quarterback thing was almost more about Darnold than McCarthy.
Well, yeah, but they also said we've done a good job winning, playing the way that we play, the big plays and all that. So when you have, the right players to do that, then we're winning at a high clip is what he said, which that was another shot at J.J. McCarthy, which I just really don't think it's fair. Like, you expected him to come in and be this fully polished quarterback, that could run your system and not kind of tailor to your young quarterback. Like, I think that's more on you than it is on your young quarterback.
Mm-hmm. So reading between the lines sometimes throughout the season too, I think what McCarthy was doing during practice weeks was not matching what he was doing on the field. O'Connell was kind of alluding to it. Justin Jefferson was alluding to it. he makes these throws every week in practice, and then like he doesn't, drew it up, hit it 5-6 times, didn't hit it in the game. So I don't know what that's worth. I think McCarthy is just way too amped up for his own good half the time this year too. So again, I don't know if I don't think that completely saves anybody, but yeah, like I said, I think everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. There are a lot of miscalculations on the season that bit everybody in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What were your takeaways, Cody?
Well, the KOC presser, to my takeaways of it is, I don't think KOC can develop a young quarterback. I don't think so. Because I'm looking at successful years. It was Kirk Cousins, a full-on vet. Sam Darnold, who's been bounced around the league a bunch of times, a full-on vet. When we watched Jaron Hall enter the game, a young quarterback, he failed miserably. Then when we're looking at JJ McCarthy enter it, he's failing too. Then you add in Max Brosmer into the situation, a young quarterback. He definitely failed. It was not even like watching a quarterback play professional football out there. It was a car salesman trying to give you numbers on a Honda Civic. It wasn't good. So I just don't think KOC is the coach to develop young quarterbacks. They want to say, hey, he's a quarterback whisperer. I do not see that with him. If you're a quarterback whisperer, that means you can develop a young quarterback going forward. And we're going to get stuck back in this loop again, over and over again, of signing these veteran quarterbacks, right? And these veteran quarterbacks are going to take us somewhere. And I think that's what the Minnesota Vikings problem is. They hire these coaches that can only develop veteran quarterbacks. I mean, we had our shot with Dante Culpepper a while back. I mean, that was the most positive young quarterback that has been developed in our history since Fran Tarkenton. And then what your guy that you went to the game with, Tommy Kramer. After that, it hasn't been a young quarterback being developed in Minnesota Vikings history. Hasn't.
Hey, Cody, I'll go you one further on that. I don't know. I agree. I don't think he can develop a young quarterback, but I think he needs a very specific type of quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a pocket passing quarterback, because Josh Dobbs is not a young quarterback. And he took every little bit of positivity that Josh Dobbs gave us and squelched it.
And I'm just watching the crowd beat up JJ McCarthy right now. And I get it. A lot of the quarterbacks that were taken in the first round of last year have been pretty successful. Like they've shown you immediate results. So therefore you're expecting that from JJ McCarthy. And I'm sorry that it hasn't worked out that way, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work out with him. Like his development is just going to take a little bit more time, but he has shown us, the flashes and shown us, the quarterback that he can be. You might have to be a little more patient with him. It's not his fault he was thrown into this situation where this team, tried to keep these Super Bowl expectations. It was Super Bowl expectations, but we're going to do it with this young quarterback, and we're not even going to bring in a good veteran backup quarterback. Like it's all on him and he's going to lead us to the promised land. Like that wasn't fair. And again, I know you're seeing the other quarterbacks that are, having success. What, 3 of them in the playoffs this year? So, you want that instant gratification, but just because you didn't get it this season doesn't mean it's not coming. And I still believe in him.
I mean, I hope it comes, because if you look at it, if he wants to be a head coach in this National Football League, at one point you're going to have to develop a young quarterback. You got to keep the organization alive and healthy going forward. If it doesn't happen this year, I'm pretty sure ownership's going to look at it like, well, we did give you that first round quarterback. We gave him to you. You didn't do anything with him. So what do we do now?
What about you, Shaq? What were your takeaways from the press for this week?
I like the fact that they didn't fully commit to JJ McCarthy being the starting quarterback. I like the fact that they admitted that this was not a successful season, that they expected more from this season. I pretty much like the fact that they took ownership and accountability in the aspects of where they should be and the expectations entering the season. So it's pretty much, it's the offseason. Coaches and GMs like to lie a lot just to keep the fans at ease. I'm just hoping we basically take the next step forward. Last year was we got to fix the interior. We kind of fixed the interior. It's just we unfortunately had to deal with injuries to the interior we signed. But overall, the offensive line wasn't that bad. If JJ McCarthy would have stayed healthy, I feel like the season could have went a lot better, and we could have got more insight on JJ McCarthy if he's a franchise quarterback or not. But it's just been delayed to next season, so that's kind of where I'm at. Really can't blame KOC. Well, yes, I can. I'll take that back. We can only blame KOC and
Kwesi
because they didn't find a backup quarterback, and they put too much faith in JJ McCarthy coming off a season-ending injury to lead this team to the playoffs or even the Super Bowl if that was their goal. So that is my only big gripe for this season, is that we didn't really have a real backup quarterback or even competition for JJ McCarthy in the event that he's not ready. They made it seem like with all the moves that he is ready to be a top 15 quarterback in this NFL.
So E says, I think behind the scenes, the Wilfs told KOC and Kwesi that next year they better win a playoff game or they're gone. That's what their body language told me at the presser. And I will agree with that on Kwesi. I didn't feel that from KOC. I felt like KOC was kind of getting agitated with answering questions about the quarterback because, you know, he's been getting asked the same questions, you know, for the past couple of weeks, and he's been given the same answers. And it's like, man, don't you guys got anything else? Don't you want to know anything else? He especially got pissed off with Judd like he always does too.
See, I feel like they ain't asked the real hard-hitting questions. Like, if I was there, I would have said, so with the success you've seen from Sam Darnold in the playoffs, leading to the first seed for the Seahawks, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I thought they asked something.
I mean, you could have asked something diplomatic while still poking them in the ribs. Like, what did you see differently that made you jump up to running the ball 30 times a game instead of 15?
Well, Minnesota did the wrong thing. They should have brought a quarterback in last year, knowing that McCarthy was still rehabbing while you were in OTAs. Like, there's no progression or development going to be happening within the 3.5, 4 weeks that you had in OTAs when he's not even out there with the first team during OTAs because he's rehabbing still. Like that, it's no progression is going to happen. So they failed. And that failure is a head coaching failure.
It is.
Yeah, they made it
GM because he's the one who gets the quarterback.
Kwesi made it seem like they kind of completely mishandled the Daniel Jones thing. He was like, yeah, we had him last year, and he didn't really say it. He's like, it kind of made it sound like, well, you had him on the team, so why was he going to come back? I don't know how they didn't seem to have a backup answer to that. Like, that's when they didn't bring in a competent backup. That's when I was like, well, they must just really believe in JJ McCarthy. And the fact that it just didn't work out this year, or his backups, and that Sam Howell looked just god awful in preseason. Flabbergasting to me.
But that's a problem there too, because they messed up twice. They messed up twice. They misjudged Daniel Jones' interest in staying with the team, and they misjudged JJ's readiness.
Yeah,
and that's some telling.
What do they go do? Like, not even a week before the first game, they went out and signed Carson Wentz. Like it, or right, like that. It was right on the number. Like, first game's on Sunday. It's Friday. Let's go sign Carson Wentz so we have a veteran backup. Like, that is ridiculous. That's a failure.
What I really want to know, and I know you can't ask this because he's not going to answer it, but what did KOC want this year? Like, did KOC want to pay Sam Darnold? Did KOC want to go at their quarterback? I think we kind of all assumed that JJ McCarthy was KOC's guy because that's who they ended up drafting, and they show all these feel-good videos of them talking behind the scenes and kind of bonding, so kind of felt like that's his guy. But the way I see KOC talk about JJ McCarthy and kind of take digs and jabs at him every time he talks, that's not the way somebody talks about their guy. Like, he's like kind of disassociate himself with JJ McCarthy, it seems like. So I really wonder, was it KOC's call that, yeah, I can work this guy, we can make it work? Or if he was told, no, you are going to make this work.
It could be worse. He could say, "I've seen enough at practice."
Well, I think KOC didn't want JJ McCarthy out there this year. I don't, because he tried going after Daniel Jones, and I contracted him. He trying to sign Sam Darnold for 1 year, same guaranteed money. He tried doing that because he knew JJ McCarthy wasn't ready. Right? Then none of them wanted to sign with us. So now it was, all right, now you're stuck with JJ McCarthy. Who's the next best guy out there? Oh, it's Carson Wentz. Let's go sign him on.
What up, D?
And I kind of think they did bank on Sam Howell being a competent quarterback until they was like, yeah, it's not going to work out.
Hmm.
I mean, that was a scramble in itself. It's like that just presented itself to them, the 4th or 5th round. Like, basically, here you can have Sam Howell. We're just going to swap these picks. You're not losing anything. Like, that kind of is, okay, we'll take Sam Howell. Like, it was crazy going into the draft not having a backup quarterback.
Yeah. And I think everyone wants to say Aaron Rodgers is going to sign. I don't think KOC even wants Aaron Rodgers, because that would have, if we tried signing Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, we would have signed Aaron Rodgers when they backed out, and we did not do that.
You know we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers all off season. You know that's inevitable at this point, and I do think opinions may have changed. Like, and I'm not saying because Aaron Rodgers went out there and lit it up, because he didn't, but there might be a belief that with the team that we have, he could do better than he did in Pittsburgh, and he could do better than JJ McCarthy could do with this team. But I wanted to ask you, Cole, you've kind of, mentioned it, that you do want them to bring in somebody. You're all for that competition. What is your ideal scenario at quarterback this year? Like, let's go ahead and take like the Burrow and Lamar off of the table. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep it semi-realistic. Like, what is your ideal thing that happens at quarterback?
So people aren't going to like this. I'm going to say it'd probably be a trade for like Mac Jones, which would be kind of frustrating. But I think that provides like a very high floor, still beatable. It'd be not fun to trade away a day 2 pick for him. It just feels like something like that's going to happen, where it's like we're not taking any chances in hoping that Marcus Mariota or Kirk Cousins is thrust as into the lineup as a week 1 starter. Like, say what you want about Mac Jones, but you can say a lot about Mac Jones, but played pretty well this year. And I think that he provides it's kind of the same-ish path as Sam Darnold. I don't think he has the same physical traits as Darnold, but I think it's somebody like that it's not completely swinging for the fences, but it's not just going bottom of the barrel just to say that you finally have, somebody who's an upgrade over Max Brosmer.
Yeah, I just wonder if you do go that route, like, are you basically cutting bait on JJ McCarthy at that point? Because if you do make this trade, like, does he come and just play for $2 million, or now you got to talk about actually putting some years on that?
Yeah, and that's another thing to I don't know. Like, it's complicated, but this is the kind of stuff that happens when it's year 5, you don't have any playoff wins, and you've let other viable quarterbacks walk out the door. Like, it's not ideal, but you can't bank on what you did this year. I don't know. It's not a great answer, but I think that it's something like you're just giving yourself a high floor at the very worst, because this year the floor was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Jay asked, he heard you say a day 2 pick. What round do you think it would cost to trade for Mac Jones?
Well, you have 2 third-round picks, so it'll probably be I don't know. I don't know if that's actually what I think it's worth, but that's what a lot of people that would know are saying. And I don't know. I mean, we haven't really drafted super well with Kwesi anyway, which isn't a justification to be trading picks away, but
I just wonder, like, I hear the Mac Jones thing often. It's been brought up a few times here. I just wonder, what is San Francisco's incentive to actually trade him, though? If they didn't have him as their backup quarterback, they might not even made the playoffs this year.
Yeah, there's that too. So, yeah.
Zero.
Wait for somebody to get cut or something.
Yeah.
Or you surprise the crap out of everybody and do a blockbuster trade.
It's zero incentive because Mac Jones is playing on a low contract, a backup quarterback contract, right? He's under their control for next year. He can always wait it out and get paid the next year. And you got to think about it is there's the most important positions in football. It's the starting quarterback, the left tackle, the edge, the cornerback, and then the backup quarterback, because you're going to need that backup quarterback to win you 3 or 4 games at the year, right? So, like, I don't think San Francisco lets go of Mac Jones at all, unless it's a second-round pick. That's how far that they how much leverage that they have with Mac Jones this year.
Hey, D, he could be an elite game manager, all right? And I'm good with that. And that's what he was in college. He was an elite game manager. Game manager gets such a dirty reputation, and there's nothing wrong with being a game manager, especially when you have a team that has great offensive weapons like we do. So if he's a top of the line game manager, that's good. I'll take that. I'm not asking for an MVP all pro out of this guy. Like, I'm not.
I'm pretty sure Joe Montana was a game manager.
Yeah.
He didn't have that elite arm strength. He made a couple runs here and there, but what came to him was he got the ball where it needed to be. Sometimes that's all you really need.
Playmakers make plays, right, Shaq?
Yeah.
Cole, Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers?
Like, who do I like more, or who do I want next year more?
Like, you have to. Like, those are the two options next year.
So I would go Kirk. He knows the system. He's still younger than Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. And Rodgers, his completions were like so short this year and stuff. I just don't think that that's just going to be a match for O'Connell. I think Kirk brings like a decent, I'm going to say it again, floor. And he knows the offense. He knows where he needs to go with the ball. He can, still hit the intermediate passes and stuff. And he's not going to go off, he's not going to go so off schedule or completely nuking offense like Rodgers. I don't know if O'Connell's going to have the patience for that after what happened this year.
What about you, Shaq? Which one are you taking?
What? That's not a hard question. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. Like, unless Kirk Cousins found a way to give us some money back, I'm not taking Kirk Cousins.
That money's gone, though. Like, it's gone. It's gone. Like, that's old. Maybe he comes
just like my feels for Kirk. It's gone. We know. It's that ship has sailed. He was here for a good 5-6 years with us. He showed us what he had from beginning to end, and I'm good with that. Let it end. If he came back for like $8 million, wouldn't that be like giving money back? Because he could probably get like 15-20 somewhere else. We could save that $8 million and give it to somebody else. Give it to Jalen Redmond, Eric Wilson.
But we need a quarterback. That's what we're talking about. So screw it.
How much for Nick Mullins?
He's a Jaguar. I think he signed a 2-year deal with the Jaguars, so he's good where he's at. Like,
he could get cut.
Like, give the $8 million to someone else, and you know what? Why not JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer duke it out?
I mean, we did it last year. They both need more reps.
I gotta ask you the same question, Fish.
Oh, go
ahead, Fish. Same question: Kirk or Rodgers?
Oh, y'all get ready. Kirk Cousins is going to be Minnesota Viking this year. He is a comfort blanket for KOC. He's exactly what KOC wants. He's a pocket passer. He ain't going to question KOC. He ain't going to fight him. He's just going to listen and say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he's going to do what KOC wants him to do. And here's the other thing. up until he injured his Achilles, what did Kirk Cousins not do? Get injured. He was there for every damn game. So he is probably, and I don't want it. I'm just saying that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah doesn't know how to handle his damn personnel. So yes, he's going to do a stupid move like bring Kirk Cousins back and cause that drama.
Hey, Rinaldi, it doesn't matter that Cousins sold his house in Minnesota because he's got that Kyle Tucker money. Okay, he can get another one.
Yeah. I don't think Rodgers will ever happen. I don't think it was going to ever happen last year either.
I don't think it was going to happen last year, but I think it's more likely to happen this year. And
I don't think so.
Now, to answer your question about what do I think is going to happen or what would I want to happen, I would rather have Rodgers.
Okay.
But Kirk Cousins is going to be a Minnesota Viking.
Yes, 100%.
I think one of them are going to be a Minnesota Viking, and I think that's what Viking fans actually need to get ready for. They're talking about Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. No, I'm sorry. You might get Mac Jones. Mac Jones, that's something that might happen. Maybe Anthony Richardson. You might get something like that where it's two young guys competing against each other. But hearing these guys talk at the podium, it doesn't seem like that's what they want. They want a veteran that could run this offense, and the free agent list kind of sucks. You know, the one that I like the most on our free agent list is Mitch Trubisky, to be honest. And I don't know that he can come in and run that offense either, but I think he might be pretty comfortable in Buffalo backing up Josh Allen and coming in week 18. So that's like really the only guy I see on that list that I'm interested in. So I think Viking fans need to get ready for the Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes because it's going to be one of them. I think it leans Kirk Cousins, but I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers like, oh, I'm retiring unless it's the Vikings.
The thing is with the Aaron Rodgers thing to me is we sent contracts to Jones and Darnold. We were like, hey, we'd rather have Daniel Jones over Aaron Rodgers. We didn't even send a contract out to Aaron Rodgers. That's how much he meant to us.
Well, because they were going to bring Daniel Jones in to be a backup. They weren't going to say, oh, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, we'll send you a contract. You're going to be J.J. McCarthy's backup.
The way they were talking in the presser, it sounds like Daniel Jones is probably going to
No.
He got a contract, and it was going to be worth way more than what Aaron Rodgers was willing to sign. Because remember, Aaron Rodgers said, hey, I'll sign for pennies on the dollar, and I'll even mentor J.J. McCarthy.
$10 million. I think they offered him like $15 million. So that's actually backup money in the NFL.
I would say, he was willing to take backup money in the NFL and mentor a Hall of Fame quarterback.
You're confusing things I'm saying.
I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers will never be on the table for the Minnesota Vikings. I promise you that. It'd already been done last year.
You're confusing the years, man. This is not the same year in different circumstances.
All right.
They weren't talking like this last year about the quarterback position. Last offseason, they were very confident in the quarterback that they have, and they made us all feel very confident in the quarterback that they had. That confidence was not there on Tuesday. It's a different ballgame. There's no more, we need to get this guy in. It's, all right, who's going to give us the better chance to win? And it's going to be Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know it's going to be Kirk Cousins. It's never going to be Aaron Rodgers.
So what you're saying is we should start looking at the 20.
Jay Viking 74 is acting like we're responsible for personnel decisions now.
No, we just predict them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are some other things that could happen. Like, you got Kyler Murray and Tua out there, but then you're if you sign one of them, you're probably cutting bait on J.J. McCarthy.
100%.
Are you even interested in any of those quarterbacks, Cole? One of those two?
Not really. I don't think they really fit the system. I don't know. I have to feel that one of those teams would be wanting somebody to be taking on some of their contract too. So those contracts are insane. So
yeah,
I'm out on those guys.
And so again, we're back to Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, if it was Rodgers a few years ago, I could have put all my hate aside for it. But Achilles and just age itself, I'm past all that.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying what I want to happen. This is just what's going to happen. It's going to be between Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers. I want it to be J.J. McCarthy. Honest, that's what I want it to be. But after hearing those guys talk, it's not going to be J.J. McCarthy.
And Anthony, I'm not a Aaron Rodgers hater. I wanted Aaron Rodgers on this team when we were talking to JJ McCarthy. It took till Aaron Rodgers was not in our scope for me to be like, yeah, I do want. Now it's JJ McCarthy season. I wanted Aaron Rodgers on this team when we started talking about this last year. Promise you can look it up.
Because, bro, that's what I do. I know things.
Trust me, bro.
Just
Source.
trust me. My sources tell me.
He's got the same sources.
Malik Willis. That's another name. No, I didn't have the Max Rosemer source. Shaq had that one. But Malik Willis, that's something I don't think is going to happen because I think Malik Willis is a guy that's going to get paid. And to me, he's still unproven. Like, he had a couple of nice games, and, maybe that's who he is. I don't know. But somebody's going to pay to find out. And I don't think it's going to be the Vikings.
We got to look at what can we realistically afford at the quarterback position for next year.
We've had 3 people say it now. 46-year-old Phillip Rivers, anybody?
Sure.
Didn't he retire again?
Cole's like over Aaron Rodgers.
I think I'd even take Rodgers over Rivers at this point.
Well, and the biggest issue I have with it too is JJ McCarthy didn't have a mentor since he entered the league. That's a big piece for a young quarterback to have is a mentor. Well, Josh McCown will be the mentor. Josh McCown bounced around 12 teams. He's not any kind of mentor in this league. KOC never even cracked a starting lineup. He made 2 preseason games and then was no longer on the team.
He had Udinsky, everybody's favorite QB offensive coordinator.
I would want Phillip Rivers just so that way JJ McCarthy would be able to hang out with his 2 oldest kids. I mean, he could have friends, while he's learning stuff.
So this will be a topic ongoing until March because that's when something will be decided. But the other thing going on right now is Brian Flores. That's the other big topic. And they briefly talked about it during the press conference, just saying that they've been aggressive with it and they'll be supportive of his decision if it's to be a head coach, which, any team would be. But their expectation is that if he does not take a head coaching job, that he will remain with the Vikings. And that's
okay. So here's the deal, and I'm just going to get it right out the way. What the hell are we doing waiting? This is our problem. We thought we had it figured out last year with Daniel Jones, and what it ended up doing to us. Carson Wentz started 5 games for us. KOC B-Flow is looking for his out. He's interviewed for defensive coordinator position. He has interviewed for a lateral move. The fact that we don't have interviews lined up for his potential replacements is absolutely stupid. What's going to happen is B-Flow is going to be in the interview process for about a week or 2. He's going to find a job somewhere else that we're going to be like, oh, I guess we should find a defensive coordinator. What do you mean all the good ones are gone?
Donatel.
Fangio.
I mean, Donatel would be like bringing Carson Wentz in. So what do you think, Cole? How long should the Vikings wait on an answer from Brian Flores before they go out and make their own decision? Because there are some options out there for defensive coordinators, and they're interviewing at other places right now.
Yeah, this one's really weird. Shocker, hot take right there. But he's got it's like he's calling the shots with everything. The fact if he took a lateral move, that'd be devastating. If he took a head coaching job, it'd be annoying. It'd be disappointing. But if he somehow took a Washington job to be DC, that'd be devastating. I don't know if they just go in-house to replace him, Durante Jones, and then Mike.
If he's even here, he's doing interviews at other places already for a DC job. So it's like,
yeah. Well, Jones too, yeah. But then Mike Sarabo, the linebackers coach, those are 2 guys that Flores talked a lot about throughout this past few seasons, and at the end of the year said that they're to future defensive coordinators. I just think that the team would probably stay in-house to try keeping things, even if they can't actually replicate it. They try to keep things as close to Flores as possible. I don't know.
Ed Donatel was a disciple of Vic Fangio. How'd that work out for us?
Yeah, I'm not saying it worked out. I'm just saying it feels like I just have a feeling that it just feels like that's what would happen. Otherwise, it'd be somebody like Raheem Morris, or apparently KOC's close with or really likes Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon. I like him. I think he runs the same style of defense as Brian Flores, and was pretty successful with the Eagles. Now the Eagles got better personnel, but I do like that name. But he's a name that's not going to be there if they're waiting on Brian Flores. And if Brian Flores does go take a lateral move, that'd be again mismanaging the situation.
Yeah, I think there's something really weird going on with all that goes beyond just negotiations, and I don't even want to speculate on it, but yeah, I've seen some stuff pop up on social media that got deleted so fast I couldn't even look into it. So you're welcome for that one.
It's like we're in between a rock and a hard place with B-Flow, because if we're sending him out there right for these head coach interviews, it's either one, we know he's coming back, that's why we haven't interviewed anybody, we already know he is, we're just giving him his opportunity, or it's two, if we do start interviewing DCs, that's telling B-Flow, hey, we don't want you back.
It's really, yeah, I agree. It's really hard to be like, oh, we gotta just throw money at him. Because then you just be like, well, I'll see what else is out there.
I don't agree with that. That if we're going to interviewing DCs, it's saying that we don't want him. If he's going out there and taking interviews, it's saying he don't want to be here.
It's hard place in a rock, man. Rock and hard place. That's
well, we need to be the rock here, I think.
Yeah, we need to go that one direction.
I think some people call this being swingers.
Yes. You know what? We're waiting for her to call us back. She's going to call me back because she LOL'd at my last text.
The Steelers.
Oh, baby, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend.
Yeah, it's tough, but I don't know, man. If he's out there taking those lateral interviews, then I think he's looking to move on. And there's like rumblings that, there might be some friction with inside the organization that has nothing to do with football. We don't know exactly what those are, but they do. Mm-hmm. So if they know that there's something wrong and he's going outside the relationship, I feel like they got to make their move. And everyone thinks, oh, if we don't have Brian Flores, then KOC is going to get exposed and we're really going to suck. Not remembering that we won 13 games with Donatel as our defensive coordinator. Like, it can be done. How many Super Bowl teams have there been in the last 5 years that didn't have Brian Flores on their team? Like, we could win without Brian Flores.
Yeah, but we got to get there.
Would I prefer to have him? 100%. I think our team is built to play Brian Flores style defense, which is why I say if it's not going to be him, I want Gannon, because Gannon kind of runs that same type of defense. But we can't be here waiting. Just like we thought we had Daniel Jones and we missed out on all the freaking free agent quarterbacks because we didn't have Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones went somewhere else on that lateral move. I mean, a backup quarterback somewhere else where he thought he could become the starter.
I think it's going to be B-Flow for a defense quarter next year because, owners are talking. Wills are talking to the other owners before these interviews. Right. So because it's the fact that we don't have anyone in line taking interviews for us tells me that B-Flow is definitely coming back.
I think that the Steelers being an option now absolutely skewers that theory because, very interesting. He did work for the Steelers. The Steelers gave him his first job after he filed a lawsuit. The Rooneys, they ain't scared of it. I think if there was a great option for him to become a head coach again, it would be the Steelers. And I think that really did skewer. If Tomlin was still their coach, I would bet more money on the fact that he would be back. But I think he's I think he's going to be Pittsburgh's head man this year.
It's Steelers or Vikings, I think. Kind of like what you said. I still think he's going to be back, but the Steelers one, that one actually scares me more than
I think
Watson.
Baltimore scares me the most.
That one did, and then it seemed like that one kind of died off.
They interviewed everybody. They got like 17 candists. So it's like
That's how you're
anybody who's
supposed to do it.
Yeah, that's a
That's how
history.
you're supposed to do it.
No, but
That's-
I'm saying like so like at first it's like that was the only name we were hearing was Brian Flores and the Ravens, but then it's like, oh, now this guy. No. I gotta check my messages. I might, have an interview schedule.
Well, Baltimore, the thing is with Baltimore is they're always a contending franchise. You have it all set up over there. It just needs direction. With Harbaugh, they kind of lost their direction with things, right? And if you put Lamar Jackson with B Flow, knowing that you got the defense built up, which they didn't have last year, which was the problem for this year's success for Ravens, you bring B Flow over here, and then you bring a new offensive coordinator that works with Lamar Jackson, you got things set up. Now you're back on track to being a contending franchise again.
Ravens makes sense. I just don't know if it's going to happen. To me, it just feels like Steelers or Vikings for him. But
And I think the Steelers lined up 4 interviews, and they're all defensive coordinators.
Yep. And then and it's the
Definitely
same
what
with
they're looking for.
the Ravens lined. There was 6, and 4 of the 6 are defensive coordinators.
I saw the Ravens also are interviewing Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
Imagine going from Harbaugh to Nagy.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the Rooney Rule.
I was gonna say that, Shaq.
Hey, Matt
But I don't think
Nagy.
it qualifies. But I was gonna say that because that was an odd one. But you got Mike Daniels getting head coaching interviews, so teams are really searching right now.
Is this the most head coaching openings in NFL history? We were
No.
at 8 at one point, right?
Yes,
It was
nine
10 when
outs.
KOC got hired.
10 at KOC.
There was 10 that year. No, honestly, I think only 2 or 3 are still head coaches.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen this many high-profile guys like
Yeah.
Harbaugh.
No, but it's a lot, and it's definitely an interface because, like you said, it's high-profile guys. It's like, oh, him. I mean, Tomlin probably got fired, but probably got the dignity of stepping down. I think. I don't like he's about to hit season 20. Like, you think he just walked out on that? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cole. Well, thank you for jumping on and joining us.
Yeah.
And thank you for being a part of this SKOL Network that we're putting together. So you will be seeing Cole's face a lot more, and make sure that you're following him on all his channels. He's on YouTube, he's on TikTok, and he's on Twitter. He might be on more, but those are the 3 channels that I know of and where I follow him. Cole, any final words?
I just appreciate you guys having me on, and it's gonna be a fun off season. If anything, might not be great for us, but it will be entertaining at the very least. That's what the Vikings always do for us. They at least give us something to talk about.
And that's all we need right now because we do the show every week, so we just need stuff to talk about and keep it entertaining.
Absolutely.
Can you drop your information so the chat would know where to look, Cole?
Yeah, the SKOL Cole Show on TikTok, the SKOL Cole Show on YouTube, and then Twitter, I'm SKOL Smith. And yeah, that's really all I'm on really right now. So
That's good.
yeah.
All right, Cole. We'll be talking to you.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All
right,
right,
let's
thanks for
go.
joining
Oh,
us.
buddy.
Yeah, SKOL.
All right, so that was Cole making his debut on the show. Awesome guy. I was following him on TikTok for like the past year, and I always knew like when I wanted to try to expand this a little bit, like he's somebody that I want to be a part of this, and now I hope you guys saw why. So again, if you guys aren't following him, go ahead and subscribe to him on YouTube and go follow his TikTok. He's posting content pretty much every day. We do have a couple other things of business to handle before we get out of here. Shaq, I'm glad you got that pillow on. It makes me feel comfortable to do this.
Do it.
But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get into our divisional round picks. So what we're doing is we are picking the winners of every playoff game. last week we did the wild card round. I went 6-0, fellas. So you gotta play a little catch up, but not too much catch up because Shaq's 5-1. Fish and Cody are both 4-2. And
where was this Keith during the regular season?
Playing with his heart, not his brain.
Imagine that your aces when it ain't Vikings related.
You know what? I probably shouldn't get too cocky because I might just go 0-4 right here. So I do have one graphic. It was real easy to get.
Very easy.
All right. Which one of you want to do your picks first for the AFC? All right, go ahead, Cody.
So I got Bills over the Broncos. I really think this is Josh Allen's year. There's no Mahomes out there. There's no Lamar Jackson out there. There's not a quarterback out there. And I think he saved putting on the cape the whole year just so he can put on the cape during the postseason. We watched him put on that cape during the postseason last game. I think he beats the Broncos. And then I'm going to go over this right here with the Patriots and Texans game. So the Patriots just got done dominating the trenches with that defensive line against the 27th ranked offensive line. Now imagine them playing the 30th ranked offensive line. I got Patriots over the Texans. I think Stroud's going to have trouble like he had trouble last game. The offensive line is not good over there in Houston. And watching what Patriots did with that defensive line in the trenches, they're going to do the same thing against Houston, and it might be a little bit worse. Going Patriots over Houston, Bills over Broncos.
All right. I'm trying to write it down this time, so I want to go back and watch the video like I did last night. Shaq, what do you got for the AFC?
For the AFC, I got Broncos shutting down that Buffalo offense. I don't see Josh Allen throwing for over 150 yards, and I don't see him rushing for more than 50 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a total shutdown because they don't have no weapons. And they're going to stack the box against Dalvin Cook, little brother. For the Texans and Patriots, I'm going Texans. Another reason, it's going to be straight defense. I feel like they're going to get to Drake May, and I don't think the Patriots offensive line is going to be able to handle that defensive line that the Texans are about to unleash. And I feel like Derek Stingley is going to have a pick six.
Ooh, should have saved that one.
Don't worry, I got you. Clip that.
So you got Broncos and Patriots. Broncos and Texans. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I got the Broncos winning this game as well. Same reason you said. I think that defense is pretty damn dominant for Denver, and I really like Josh Allen. And part of me wants to see Josh Allen win a Super Bowl, but part of me doesn't because he plays for Buffalo, and I don't want them to win a Super Bowl before us. But that's not my reasoning why I have the Broncos win this game. My reasoning is the defense. Like you said, they don't have any weapons. It's really just going to be him and Cook. And they even, lost another receiver in Gabriel this week. So, they have even less weapons than what they had. So, I'm going to take Denver at home. And I really want to take the Texans. I do. That defense is dominant. But I don't think against the Patriots they're going to be able to have the same mistakes that they had on offense and get away with it. So, give me the Patriots at home. What do you got, Fish?
Right there with Shaq. Defense wins championships, and the two best defenses are going to make the difference in the AFC. Broncos are going to beat the Bills. Texans are going to beat the Patriots. I get it. The Texans made mistakes this week, but they're going to clean it up. Stroud is a professional, and I think we're going to see some very low-scoring games on the AFC side of the ball.
Yeah, we might not get the same excitement that we got this past weekend, but we could. Yeah, AFC is going to be kind of sluggish. But
and Daniil Hunter's
there's two NFC games. So why don't we just go around about with it? Fish, what do you got for the NFC?
Seattle Seahawks are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and the Chicago Bears are going to beat the Rams.
I feel like you didn't want to say one of those. You're a little hesitant.
That first one's tough.
It is. Especially with it being in Seattle. You know, like I said, like I go with my head and not my heart. That's, you know, what the difference has been between my picks in the playoffs and Vikings. I'm going with my heart. I do not want Sam Darnold to lead the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. And it's nothing against Sam Darnold. It's just the people I have to deal with in life. And I just don't want to deal with that. So it's no, and it's not even you, Shaq. I'll give you all that. There's another core of people I don't want to deal with. So I am taking the 49ers, and I cannot have Bears winning because my family are Chicago Bears fans. I cannot have that. So give me the Rams. Taking the Niners and the Rams.
This is where we catch up to Keith.
It might be.
So it would be me or Cody next.
Cody.
All right, so I got this. This is a first in NFL history. All right, both the conference championship games are going to be having two divisional opponents play each other. First time in NFL history. I'm talking we're going to be seeing the Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams in the conference championship with the NFC. We're going to see the Bills versus Patriots in the other conference championship game. I'm saying this with the Seattle Rams, Bills, Patriots because the most exciting games that the NFL had on TV this year were against the Bills and Patriots and the Rams and the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks take care of business in San Francisco like they did when they played them, stomped the living dog shit out of them. And I also think the Rams do beat the Bears defense. The Bears defense I don't think is that good. I think it's very opportunistic, but I think it's the Rams are going to play more conservative football, and they're going to stomp the hell out of them. I got Rams, Seahawks, NFC Conference Championship.
Oh, I like it. I like your reasoning. I like what you're saying. I just can't have it. Jay likes to mess with me. Come on, man. I can't wait. Now I need the 49ers to win so I can come in here and talk a little smack. And Tommy, I know I can't shut you up. I would never try. All right, Shaq, what do you got in the NFC? I already know one of them.
Well, it's pretty cut and dry. You know both of them.
I don't. Oh, damn. I didn't even think about your conference finals, what it could be. Damn. I mean, my bad. But go ahead.
We have Seattle Seahawks playing a nail biter against the 49ers and winning. I have the Seattle Seahawks winning. And then we have the Chicago Bears beating the LA Rams to have I'll probably say it, first in my lifetime, a USC quarterback versus a USC quarterback in the divisional finals.
Conference.
Suddenly I hate myself for agreeing with you.
Don't worry, Fish. It works out for us. We'll be past Keith.
No, I don't, because that still gives you a 1-game lead on me.
You guys are making our resident Rams fan upset right now.
I'm not.
Keith, if Darnold wins the Super Bowl, then it should be Kwesi firing.
I don't think that's gonna get Kwesi fired though.
No, they wanted.
There's literally nothing we could do to bring Darnold back besides giving him more money than the Seahawks was giving him.
I'm sorry, man. Like Darnold went from a Ferrari to a Porsche. Like he's just driving those things. Like I don't think that Darnold is the difference in the Seahawks that's driving them to the finals.
I wonder if did we match the contract Seattle gave Darnold, or did Seattle give the contract first? Because if we matched it, that means I don't think we wanted him.
Yeah, so that's why I said
we offered the same that they offered him, but we didn't add on the possible extra years. We offered him a straight up 1-year deal, getting paid the same, whereas the Seahawks gave him a 3-year deal, but only one was guaranteed. But those two were still on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to actually start without having to worry about it being a real competition.
And there's that part too. Like it's fine. And I don't like it that I'm being portrayed that I'm rooting against Sam Darnold because I'm rooting against Sam Darnold. But if it was any other situation, I don't know. I could probably from like it's not only like is it okay? That's our ex quarterback going out there, and a lot of Viking fans like to throw it in the face that look what Darnold's doing over there. But it's the Seahawks, man. Like Vikings and Seahawks got beef. Like so, it's like a double negative there. So I don't know. Come on, Niners. I don't really like you 49ers, but come on, man. Please. You guys got me emotional.
As long as
they're going to be good games. Like these are going to be good games. Like they're going to be fun to watch. And this is probably the last weekend that I don't have softball going on because softball will be starting up for my girls in a couple weeks. So this is going to be like the last weekend that I get to sit back and enjoy. So I will enjoy these games. All right. Let me get this off the screen. Let's go ahead, get into our purple prophecies, our predictions. Who's ready? Shaq, all right. Go ahead, Shaq.
I could go. Okay. So my prediction for this all season is the Minnesota Vikings will draft twice in the first round.
Ooh. Okay. I like that one. Kind of.
Nasty.
Bringing back the Cody 6'7".
Hey, we've invented it.
I kind of like it. I hope they don't like give up anything from the 2027 draft to get up there. Like I hope they don't give away next year's first to get back in.
What you mean? A first is a first, whether it's this year or next year.
No, I'm saying like I hope we can get back into the first by like giving up maybe our second and fourth rounder or something like that. I don't want to give up 2027 draft capital with that being the deeper, better draft class. That's all I'm saying.
I get that.
Like if we can get like back in, like make your hot take hit, and we get the 31st pick. That probably doesn't involve next year's first. But I like to take and Fish. That's not too far ahead.
I know we can actually quantify this one pretty quick.
Yeah, this one will be off the books.
So just so we're clear, this is not the Gjallarhorn, right?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna go ahead and let you guys go to sleep. Did you have one that you wanted to get off your chest though?
Yeah, I think I've got a Gjallarhorn for tonight.
Okay, let us do this, and then you could do that, and that's how we'll end it.
Sorry, Cody.
Oh,
I'm actually going a little different direction from you, Shaq. My prediction is that we are going to trade back in the first round of this draft, and we are not going to get another first-round pick for it.
So your hot take is we will not pick in the first round.
No, we're going to trade back maybe 4 or 5 spots, and it's not going to be enough for us to get another first-round pick.
Okay, so we're just going to trade back in the first round, kind of like we did Kwesi's first year.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Lovely. I like yours a lot less, Fish. Maybe.
So
I don't know.
I got one.
Go ahead.
So my prediction a while back was we were going to trade Jordan Addison in this year's draft for a pick, and I think it's solidified it over the recent news that we had. I think Minnesota Vikings are not only going to trade Jordan Addison, that we are also going to select a receiver, i.e. wide receiver or tight end, in the first round of this year's draft.
Go ahead and say his name. Say his name.
I think we're going Sadiq, or we're going to go Carnell Tate out of Ohio State.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were going to go. All right. You guys are all going draft picks, and I'm going a little more vague and a lot sooner, and that is there will be at least one player this weekend that scores 3 touchdowns. Don't know who, don't know for what team, but there will be at least one player that scores 3 touchdowns.
Non-QB?
I was about to say that.
Not, and I've been practicing this all day, and it was supposed to start off non-quarterback, but you know me.
Just say anytime touchdowns.
So I will say it like this. This weekend in the playoff games, there will be at least one non-quarterback that scores 3 touchdowns.
That works.
And I hope I have him on my playoff fantasy team. I haven't put it together yet.
I hope so too, because your fantasy year was rough.
Brother, we're not talking about regular season.
His team over here trying to fire him.
He's trying to find himself.
All right, Fish, why don't you go ahead and give us the Gjallarhorn?
I would gladly take 2019 Mike Zimmer over KOC right now, any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Ooh. That's pretty bold.
I don't hate it because I honestly didn't want to fire Mike Zimmer when we fired him. So I don't hate it at all.
I don't hate it, and I didn't want to fire Zimmer, but that was kind of like the beginning of the downfall of Mike Zimmer. And I still think KOC is still pretty high.
Here's why. Because Mike Zimmer had his guy at quarterback, and he stood behind his guy, and he got pissed when his guy got supplanted due to injury. And that was the beginning of the downfall of Mike Zimmer. He would stand behind JJ. He would have some competition. He would let somebody actually develop JJ, and he would worry about the defense. And we wouldn't be worried about B-Flow right now.
That's true.
What say you, Cody?
I'm actually on board with this. That makes perfect. Because again, I did say earlier, I don't think KOC can develop beyond quarterbacks. I've seen him strike out twice now. He's almost on his third strike. That third strike, you're out. So yeah, I'm with him. I think Mike Zimmer 2019 with JJ McCarthy is a lot better team. And it's the same scenario as if you bring Harbaugh over here. Harbaugh is a defensive-minded coach with the Chargers, right? He had Justin Herbert, for Christ's sakes, and they still couldn't get out of the first round ever since he got to the Los Angeles. They still haven't won a first round since he came back. So yeah, I'm all with you, Fish. I fully believe that.
And Jack says his prediction is if the Vikings don't win a playoff game next season, KOC and or Kwesi will be fired.
100%.
Shaq, you're going to say something before I really cut you off and put Cody on.
I was going to say, yeah, I agree with Fish. Even though you said 2019, I feel like at least with Zimmer, when he came in, he turned the defense around, and we had the number one defense, at least for 1 year. Yeah, we didn't win a Super Bowl with the number one defense, but he at least showed that our team could be number one at something. With KOC, we're still striving to be a top 5, top 3 offense consistently. So that's the one thing I give Zimmer over KOC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? This one was kind of tough for me because I did like Zimmer. I liked him a lot, and I didn't want him to get fired when he did, but I do felt he deserved to be fired, even though I didn't want that to happen. I did like him. But Jay asked, did he want Keenum after the miracle season? And the answer is no, he didn't. So in that case, I'm rolling with KOC.
He wanted his first round pick quarterback.
Yeah.
First round pick quarterback got hurt.
And that's why I specified 19, because I feel like the wheels fell off his bus in 20.
And that's sad, because that's what happens to coaches with first round quarterbacks. Someone said Nick Foles. Well, Brian Peterson, Peterson's first round pick was Carson Wentz. 2 years later,
Doug Peterson.
But he could have got Teddy Bridgewater supercharged and got Lamar Jackson in the draft.
And that's the issue. He should have kept with Teddy Bridgewater after the Case Keenum thing, because 2 years later,
kept Case Keenum.
And
then drafted Lamar Jackson, because keeping Case Keenum doesn't prevent you from drafting Lamar Jackson. Signing Kirk Cousins at $90 million does.
You're right.
So I will say he probably wanted Case Keenum over Kirk Cousins. I will say that, because he wanted to use that cap space to make the defense better.
You ride or die with that first round pick quarterback.
But he rode even after that first pick quarterback, because the guy who came in was working.
Only took 2 years. Only took a year and a half, and he was out. It's over after that, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21. He's here for 4 years after that.
Man, he's gone.
I think it's about the quarterback, Teddy, because he's only here for a year and a half.
Keenum should have gotten signed. See, Jay, I like you, man. You talk a lot of smack, but I like you, man.
He did get signed. He signed with the Washington, I think, or Broncos, one of the two.
The Broncos.
His goal.
Yeah,
Put up good numbers there.
All right, fellas. So, do you guys want to get into our grades for the draft positions?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, we can get them out of the way.
I do.
I was actually kidding. I was actually kidding.
Oh, all right. Well,
Let's wrap this up. Let's save that.
Save for next.
I thought you guys were like, I was getting ready because no, this is weird. All right. It's been a good show. I think we can go ahead and wrap it up here. Get you guys out of here 10 minutes early for being good. Shaq, final words.
Final words. It is flu cold season. Make sure you guys are washing your hands. Make sure you're using hand sanitizer and mask up. You do not want to show up sick the next day and now you can't go to work. Other than that, subscribe to Let's Go on YouTube, or you can follow us on TikTok where Keith makes funny videos here and there. Also, you can send donations our way on YouTube by clicking the little dollar sign or by sending it to Cash App at Let's Go. And I'd like to thank Cole for joining us tonight. We are trying to grow this brand because it's not just the Let's Go family, but we're all Vikings fans out here wanting the same thing, to see the Minnesota Vikings win the Super Bowl and have fun doing it. And that's all I got.
Shaq, I got to show my wife your sign off because she is super paranoid about getting sick and the flu that's going around and everything. And she canceled her doctor's appointments and she don't want to go out in public. And I mean, my wife's already like that. Anywhere we go, as soon as we get in the car, she grabs the sanitizer, squirts on all of our hands. I come home from somewhere, go wash your hands as soon as I walk in the house. Like, that's already how she is. But with the way like the flu season's going, oh man, I got to show her that. What do you got for us, Fish?
For Vikings fans, by Vikings fans. Thank you, Cole, for joining us. It was great talking to you. Yeah, everybody be careful out there. And just remember, the old adage is, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. So get your ass in the house and get to bed.
Much love, E. I mean, nothing good happens after 10 p.m. Let's be honest. The older you get, the more that time goes down.
Yeah.
He's a young man. I'd say after midnight.
And I will say this, happy 3rd year anniversary.
That too.
To 20 more years, everybody. To 20 more years.
Happy anniversary, Fish. I'm glad you remembered. Glad I didn't have to tell you. Cody?
It's Thursday. Tomorrow starts your beginning of your weekend. Have a plan when you go out, right? I've been harping on this ever since we drafted the guy, ever since that first incident. Shit, ever since he said, let's get paid. You know, that's a red flag to me. Just be safe out there, right? Have a plan. The weekend's coming up. Don't get yourself in trouble. We're going to miss 3 weeks worth of work. And if you're not good, at least be good at it. Right? Let's go.
Let's go. Rinaldi says, I don't know who's winning the Super Bowl, but I know who's winning the World Series.
Yep. They just signed Tucker.
Yeah. He's been talking about that all night in the damn comments. That's funny.
Lucky.
Emiliano, good luck to your Canes, but good luck.
Yep.
All right, and that's our show. And yes, a special shout out and thank you to Cole for joining us. He's someone that you'll probably see on here from time to time. And again, go follow him on all of his platforms. The SKOL Cole Show. Make sure you go and follow him and continue to follow us. If you're watching this and you have not subscribed yet, I don't know why you haven't, but please hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us a great deal. We'll be back with some more SKOL talk next Thursday. Till then, let's SKOL.
Let's go.
Let's go! For Viking fans, Minnesota Vikings.